It's always a bad sign when it gets dim like that. Let's see. Try to make this function here. Come on. Okay. Let's see, we have talked about this, haven't we, not? And what's happening here? Speaking of ancient Israel? Yeah, Sam. Oh, or RJ. No, go ahead, RJ, thanks.
Isaac is about to be killed by Abraham.
You're absolutely right.
And the angels coming down to stop him.
You got it, exactly. It's the situation where Abraham is being tested by God. And so he's going to sacrifice Isaac, and the angel is going to come down. This is where the connection with the covenant, if you recall, that the covenant is the agreement between God and Abraham, in which he says, okay, you can have this land forever and ever and ever, and then in order to test Abraham's sincerity, he has to kill his firstborn son, which would make it kind of tough in the old patrilinear inheritance routine. Oopsie. Okay. The sacrifice of Isaac? Yeah. This one is Donatello. Donatello's David, which is a bronze, and it was the first freestanding bronze since the Romans. So which means that it is Renaissance, because if you're going to have a rebirth of the Roman, then it is that, and then it's called the lost wax method. Remember that? He made the statue out of beeswax, and then he covered it with plaster, and then he poured in the molten bronze, and then you knock off the plaster, and here you have David, and he has his foot on the head of Goliath. He's kind of an androgynous David. It's not really, the Michelangelo one is much more masculine. Remember what this is? Mary Magdalene. No, RJ. Yes. Mary Magdalene. And this is it sarcophobic or is it sarcophilic? Phobic. If you have a phobia, what does it mean? You're afraid of, or it's anti. So if philosophy, philo meaning love of, so there's phobic versus philic. Remember this? Sarcophobic means, remember this? Sarco, flesh. Go back over your notes, folks. Sarcophobic, sarcophilic. Oopsie, wrong direction. Let's see, let's skip St. George for now. Remember this one? Masaccio's Crucifixion. What kind of, is it an oil painting? What is it? It's a fresco. What's a fresco? It's painted on plaster. Yes, exactly. What is the drawing underneath it called? It's called a cartoon. The cartoon is where they draw the lines to get, what's the effect? Mathematical perspective. Remember the lines, how they converge? We did go over all this. Yeah, okay. You just want to dig it out and take a look, because this is early Renaissance, and whoopsie, Masaccio is demonstrating. Aha! Surely you remember this one. What's happening here? Yes, 3 different scenes. You got it.
Caesar's like tax
Yep.
collector went and
That's
asked
right.
St. Peter for their taxes, and Jesus said, "Give to Caesar what is."
Render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. Yes, and it's the story is in three different. The actual story is in three different times at the same time, but you see them all at the same time. So here's the tax collector comes to Jesus. Jesus says to St. Peter, "Go over to the lake." St. Peter goes over to the lake. The fish comes up, gives him a coin. St. Peter gives it to the tax collector. This is called the tribute money by Masaccio, and I don't have I had my slide list here this morning, but it was a rather unfortunate morning, so I'm not sure what happened to it. Anyway, so that's Masaccio. Let's see, let's get down, I guess. Oh yeah. This is Giotto, and remember, this is very early Renaissance. But what's different? Why is it not medieval? You remember this? Yes, because they actually look like people instead of symbolic people. You can actually see physical form, and there are recognizable faces. Yes, that's right. Giotto's Lamentation. We're going backwards. Should be going backwards here. Hopeful. There we go. So now this is pre-Renaissance because this is on Chartres Cathedral, and there's no attention being paid here to realism. It's just they rate everything by size, and so Mary is huge, and then they get smaller and smaller by importance, and they're very unrealistic looking.
What's that one called?
This is on the portal of. This is quite early on the slide list. It's the portrait of it's Chartres Cathedral, the portal. Let's see here, and I'll show you what there's the cathedral itself right here. This is remember the style. Is this Gothic or is it Romanesque? It's Gothic, yes. How do you tell it's a Gothic arch? A little bit of a point, very good. And why are the two towers different? They were built at different times, yes, exactly. Very good. Okay, now we're going to, let's see, I think we're going to zing forward here. Aha! Remember this. Peasant wedding. Peter Bruegel. What's this mean in the background here? The empty vessel? That's right. She's an empty vessel at the moment, but she won't be for long. That she's going to have children. Yes, very good. Remember what's the joke about the bagpiper? He's been castrated by paintbrush because in the original there was a sex joke about the bagpipes, and everybody thought that was funny except Queen Victoria or somebody like that took one look at it and freaked out and said, we can't have that. Remember, what's the significance of the spoon in the man's hat? Will work for food. Very good. You guys are remembering beautifully. That's the spirit. And over here, way over on the right, you have the tiny percentage of the population. Remember, like 96% of the population are just plain old-fashioned peasants. And then way up at the top 4%, you have a Franciscan friar and an aristocrat, a fellow who is dressed very, very nicely. And remember, what does everybody drink instead of water? Beer. Everybody drinks huge quantities of beer. Yes, very good. You guys are doing great. Let's see here. Okay, what time of day is it? Noon. Very good. Now, what's the thing about Bruegel? There is a church, but is it real prominent? No. He's more interested in the life of the people than he is in the actual religious aspect. So that's something quite different about Bruegel as a Renaissance painter. That is a harvest scene. And then this one, remember this one?